spent 100 days inside a Minecraft school server. With undercover teachers out to get me and a stack of homework looming, I have 3 clear objectives. 1. Build a functional rocket to get an A in my final science exam. 2. Become the prom queen at the biggest dance of the year. And 3. Find out who the undercover teacher is inside our class. Will I be able to do it all in 100 days? Stay tuned to find out. What happens next? On day 1, I woke up for school. Is that the time? I'm gonna be late. I grabbed a quick shower and then ran downstairs for some breakfast. I ended up just grabbing some fruit that I could eat on the way because I was totally gonna be late for my bus. I grabbed my backpack and head out of the house. Time to get to the bus. After waiting 10 minutes at the bus stop, it was a no-show. I must have missed the bus already. I needed to figure out how to get to school on time. Eventually, a nice neighbor pulled over and offered to give me a ride. Yeah, she's pretty short. Now that I'm in school, it's super late though. I made my way to first class, history. I find it really boring, but the teacher is kind of funny, so it's okay. My final class of the day was science, and this is definitely my favorite subject. With rockets, scientific components, and even live streams from space, this is the class where I want to get my A. I signed up for the rocket project, where I have to build myself a fully functional rocket. This will be fun. Back at home now, I grabbed a quick bite of dinner, wrote how my day went in my journal, and then I went to bed. Day 2 was much smoother. I woke up right on time. I went and took a shower and had my breakfast, some super yummy bacon and eggs. Then I made it on time for the bus. My first class today was track. Ugh, I am so unfit, but I did get to check out all the good-looking football players. I wonder if one will ask me to prom. After a quick shower, it was time for some lunch. I grabbed a slice of pizza and sat down with my friends. Before I knew it, it was time for my last class of the day, survival studies. I learned how to pitch a tent and start a campfire. It was pretty cool. A few of my friends even think we should go on a camping trip soon, and I'm totally in. Once I was back home, I did my usual, got my homework done, entered my day into my journal, and then I went to sleep. The next 2 days were much of the same. I got on the bus, good morning, Jerry, and I went to all my classes. I learned loads of cool new stuff, including some cool stuff about this guy, the T-Rex. Did you know that they can reach 43 feet tall and weigh over 7 tons? Whoa. Then it was Friday, the weekend. My best friend Amy came over to my house that night. We spent the night eating pizza and looking up funny TikTok videos. We set up sleeping bags in the sitting room and fell asleep watching my favorite movie, Anchorman.
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
I woke up super early on Saturday morning and I headed out to the garage first thing. I needed to get this place rocket ready if I'm gonna build this rocket in time for the school project. I cleared all the boxes and junk. I got my workstations I borrowed from the school setup, and I even got myself a fridge and filled it with energy drinks. There's gonna be no sleep for me on this project. I finished up the garage rocket setup on the 7th morning, and then I spent the day ordering components and stuff I'd need for my rocket to take off from Amazon. Time to get to bed because I've got school in the morning. On day 8, I started my new subject, the dark arts. The classroom is really creepy and I swear the teacher is a real life vampire, or so he says. Anyway, I made a new friend, George. He thinks he's a hound or a wolf or something. But anyways, this subject is really interesting. I spent the last class of the day studying in the library. That's when the strangest thing happened. All of the students received an email. It was from an unknown sender and the title was Undercover Teacher. It said, "The plans to put an undercover teacher into some of the suspect classes has been granted. From today, one teacher will be sent undercover into the classrooms to play a role of a student. The identity of the teacher will be known only to the principal, so don't ever bother asking anyone about it. The undercover teacher is responsible for finding out who is responsible for the vandalism and theft around the school premises." That is so strange. An undercover teacher? I've never heard of that before. Anyways, I headed home and put my day into my journal and went to sleep. The next few days, I rushed home from school to see if the parts to my rocket had arrived. But nothing, not until day 12. I got off the school bus and ran to the front door and my dad was there. He told me my parts had arrived and they're all in the garage. Into the garage I went and there it all was, crates of stuff I needed to build my rocket. I wasted no time in getting started. I unpacked some stuff and got to work on it right away. Building this thing was going to be the toughest project ever. And once I was finding my rhythm, my dad came in and called me for dinner. Jeez. I ate my dinner with my dad, finished some homework I had to do, wrote in my journal, and then went to bed. On day 13, it started off normal at school, until an announcement came over the intercom.
Could little Kelly please come to the principal's office? Yes, little Kelly to the principal's office, please.
I wonder what this could be about. I arrived at the principal's office and went inside. It turns out I was in big trouble for something I didn't even do. You guys remember when I had survival studies and my friends wanted to plan a camping trip? Well, we did, but it was going to be on next Friday instead of going to school. Turns out that the undercover teacher was actually in that class and they heard everything. I can't believe they got me in trouble already. I need to figure out who it is. At the end of school, I went straight onto my computer to look up the yearbooks from last year to see who is new, and I have 3 suspects: Gemma, Kyle, or Stacy. That's enough spy stuff for me today. Time to go home. I updated my journal and then I went to bed. The next few days, I kept my head down at school and sat in the front of all my classes. I handed over all my homework, quizzes, and assignments. The stinking undercover teacher has me freaked out, and I still have my suspicions on who it is. Then, at night, I worked on my rocket. I was getting there. I had already made the cone. That was pretty easy to make. And I had the parts together for the shell of the rocket. I also built all 4 fins. I just need to finish the engine and make the rocket fuel, and it's ready. Elon Musk, eat your heart out. On day 21 in school, I started to work on my very own spacesuit. I had so many options to choose from, including a cool Iron Man suit, which was tempting to build because Tony Stark is like my idol. I ended up just building a spacesuit that would actually be beneficial in space. It ended up looking really cool, and my professor was super impressed. I was about to head home when I saw this. A poster on the wall for prom queen and king. I wrote my name as an entry and I put it into the vote box. If my friends want me to run, they can vote for me. On the bus home, I kind of started to feel silly for putting my name into the running for prom queen. I mean, no one's gonna vote for me to run. I'm just a science geek. At lunchtime on day 22, the craziest thing happened. My friend George from the dark arts class came running over with some news.
OMG, did you guys hear what went down this morning?
Turned out one of our classmates, Richie, got expelled because of the undercover teacher. This has to stop. Everyone keeps getting in trouble for things they haven't even done yet. I made a plan. Myself and my best friend Amy decided to hide in the locker room after the school was closed to look for clues. We snuck into the principal's office once the school had emptied and it was dark, and then we started to have a look around. Amy kept watch while I tried to hack into the principal's laptop. Wait, someone was coming. Oh no, the janitor works nights. We hid in the closet while the janitor cleaned up. After the coast was cleared, we searched some more, but we only found a note. It was from the undercover teacher. It said, "Mr. Henry, meet me at the football pitch at our next full moon. I will wait for you there to discuss the next part of our plan. Yours truly, Miss Undercover Teacher." Wow, that's so strange, but wait, it said Miss, which means it's either Gemma or Stacy. Kyle is off the hook. We got out of there and ran to catch the last bus home. On days 23 to 25, I decided to concentrate on my rocket. So over those next few days, I tried mixing the chemicals together to make the rocket fuel, but nothing seemed to work. I got so frustrated I threw it all in the trash and decided to come back to it later. Little did I know that on the night of day 25, all those chemicals would combine and open some kind of portal into another time. Worse than that, it was a portal back to the dinosaur age, and a young T-Rex came through and walked straight into my school. Now there's a wild, vicious dinosaur wandering the halls, and it's all my fault. Luckily, on day 26, I was the first one into school. Well, lucky for everyone else, not for me. I was on my way up to the science lab to finish making the rocket fuel when I saw the portal through the window. I was gonna walk up the stairs when I heard a noise coming from behind me. I turned around to walk back down the hallway, and that's when I saw it. A dinosaur! It came right at me and I had to run for my life. I ran through the hall and tried to lose him, and it worked. I made my way to the history classroom to get the tranquilizer guns my teacher showed us. I circled back and there he was in the main hall. I snuck back down the stairs and took aim at the dino. I did it! I knocked it out with a tranq gun. Then I had to figure out what I was gonna do with its body. I dragged it back to the portal and put it through. That seemed to close the portal, thankfully. No more dinosaurs for me. All this and it's not even 9 a.m. yet. Jeez. Over the next 3 days, the votes for prom king and queen nominees were counted. I'm not gonna lie, I did some campaigning. It would be great to be in the running. On day 30, we found out who the final 6 candidates were. 3 for queen and 3 for king. They were gonna be announced on signs outside the auditorium. I went to check it out with Amy. 3 boys, Tyler, duh, Mark and George. No way, I didn't see that coming. Okay, now the girls. Shelly, of course, Anne-Marie, and Little Kelly! Wait, that's me! I did it! I got nominated for prom queen! We wasted no time and we went straight to the arts room to make some posters. Not much happened over the next few days. I made some changes to my spacesuit, and I figured out how to connect the engine to my rocket at home. And then I said my goodbyes to Amy for the weekend. I was heading outside after school and I looked up and spotted a full moon. So pretty! Wait, the full moon! The note from the undercover teacher said she was going to meet the principal at the next full moon by the football pitch. I had to head that way. When I got to the football pitch, there was no one to be seen. But that's when I saw some light coming from behind the bleachers. Someone is back there. I snuck closer to get a better look, and then the principal came out. Whoa, he nearly saw me. That means only the undercover teacher is there. I just need to wait so I can see who it is. I waited for what felt like forever. I moved in for the kill, so to speak, and then we came face to face. It was Gemma all along. I don't believe it. She's the undercover teacher. She ran off into the distance, and something tells me we won't be seeing her in school tomorrow. That's objective number 1 crossed off my list. Time to head back home and get some sleep. The funniest thing happened on day 40. I arrived into school and I saw a lot of students standing outside. We were beginning to wonder what was going on until our principal came outside to make an announcement.
Listen up, students. I have some bad news. There seems to be a breakout of a rare skin disease spreading amongst the teachers. It's making our skins look like dinosaur scales.
Uh-oh.
As a result, we've been ordered to close down the school for the next 10 days to quarantine. Please do your homework and check in online so you don't miss any classes. Thank you and good day.
No way! 10 whole days off? Back on the bus home then! Over my 10 days off, I finished the construction of my rocket. I attached the fuel lines to the pumps, then fixed the engine to the bottom and boom, it's ready! I was so proud of it. I mean, look at this thing. I called Amy and invited her to come see it the following morning. Time for bed. On day 50, I woke up and checked the calendar. Yikes, we go back to school tomorrow. Pretty soon, Amy arrived to check out my rocket. She was so impressed. She absolutely loved it. I even let her try on my hand-built spacesuit. After about an hour of showing her how it works, I got thirsty, so I offered to grab us some drinks. While I was gone, Amy took a good look around the rocket. She got in and started pressing some buttons trying to find the radio. That's when it happened. She initiated the launch by accident. I came running out once I heard the engines, but it was too late. I tried to get her to initiate the abandoned launch codes, but she couldn't hear me over the engines. I even tried getting inside, but I got set on fire. Ouch. Then it launched. Oh my gosh, Amy was going into space and there was nothing I could do. I went back into my garage and checked the computers to see if I could track the rocket. It looks like it's heading straight for the moon. I ran inside to look for my dad, but he must have been out shopping. I only have one option left. I took my mom's car once it got dark and drove it to the school. All the doors were locked. I needed to break in and get to the science lab. Once inside, I made my way through the dark, empty school towards the lab. It was so creepy, but I made it. I needed to fuel up this rocket and make some final checks. Man, I hope this works. I grabbed a suit from the next class and jumped in. Time to see if I can get this thing to the moon. 3, 2, 1. It's working! The thrusters have engaged and all systems are go. Woohoo! I was checking all my systems as we were going up. Oxygen levels, normal. Fuel usage, normal. Looks like everything is working perfectly. Wow, the sky looks so amazing. I can't believe I'm actually going to space, but I have to find my best friend. I landed on Mars because the GPS coordinates of Amy's ship had changed course. I fueled the buggy up so it was easier to get around. Time to get going on my search for Amy. After a few hours, I found nothing. I head back to my rocket to try and get some rest and start up my search again in the morning. I spent the next 4 days searching every part of Mars for Amy. I can't find her anywhere, and what's worse, I'm on my last oxygen tank. I packed enough in my ship, but I didn't bring much in this ship. Man, the sky is beautiful up here though. Just when I thought everything was lost, I see it! Amy, she could still be here! I race over and my worst nightmare comes to life. The rocket's there, but no Amy. I start to lose it when Amy pops out. Oh my gosh, she scared me so much. I thought she was an alien. Okay, we don't have much time. We need to get into my ship and make a flight plan for Earth. On day 56, we made it back to Earth and we started to clean up our mess. My rocket made it back from space, but now it's ruined. I didn't care though. I had my best friend back safe and sound and we had an epic story to tell, if anyone ever believed us. We got showered and changed and caught the bus to school. We couldn't be late. School seems so strange now that I've been to Mars. Kinda seems smaller. Anyways, I was just finishing lunch when George, my friend from the dark arts class, came over to me. He seemed super nervous. Man, I hope he didn't find out I was in space. Then he did something that completely shocked me.
Hey, Kelly, I was thinking maybe you'd like to be my date to prom.
Oh my gosh, sure! I can't wait! Oh, he's super cute and super funny. I ran to tell Amy what happened and she was so excited for me. She said if George wins prom king and I win queen, we'll be the greatest couple ever. I guess I'll need to order a few dresses tonight when I'm ordering my rocket parts again. The next few days I spent avoiding the science teacher who was really annoyed someone stole his rocket. He even asked me to help him find out who did it. Yikes. I was in history class when the intercom came on again.
Little Kelly to the principal's office, please. That's Little Kelly to the principal's office.
Oh man, what did I do this time? I went straight there and to my complete shock, the undercover teacher and Principal Henry were there together. They spent the next hour explaining to me why they started the undercover teacher program and that if I told anyone, it would all be for nothing. I swore I wouldn't tell anyone else, apart from Amy of course, and in return, I got to pick the band for prom. Jackpot! As I was leaving, the science teacher was heading into the principal's office. Man, that guy looked stressed. Time to head home for some well-deserved sleep. I spent the next 10 days rebuilding my rocket with parts I ordered off Amazon. I built the cone, the fins, the engine, and then I put it all together. Boom! All I needed to do was make the rocket fuel in my science class tomorrow, and in theory, it should be good to go. If this thing doesn't get me an A, nothing will. On the 70th night, I got a delivery to the door. Oh yeah, it was my prom dresses I ordered online. I rang Amy and she came over right away. I tried on all 3 dresses. The white one, the red one, and the pink one. I ended up loving the pink one the most, so that's the one I chose. Amy stayed the night, so we watched Anchorman again. Today was all about finding the perfect spot for prom. We checked the auditorium. That won't work. We checked the outside setting area. Nope, definitely not big enough. And then we found it. The gym! This would be a perfect place for the prom. Of course, we'll need to set up some tables, a dance floor, and some lights, and boom! The place will be amazing. So we went to the library and we put a plan together for the setup over the next few days. The prom dance was closing in. We spent the next week or so getting the gym ready. This was our progress halfway through those days. Yikes, we need a miracle. We kept going and worked together, and finally on day 78, this was our final product. We did it! We made a beautiful prom room with a dance floor, twinkly lights, and even a stage for the band. I can't believe the prom is only 2 days away! Crazy! The 79th morning, I was heading to class when my science teacher stopped me in the hallway. He told me he knows who stole his rocket and he has proof. Oh my gosh, this is it. I'm gonna get expelled and they won't let me go to prom. I went with him to the science lab where I was sure he was gonna kill me. When we walked in, he looked up. I couldn't see anything. He then told me that it had to have been the aliens. I of course agreed with him. They must have took it for research. That's me off the hook. He agreed and I went on my way. Jeez, that was a close one. Day 80. Today is the day. It's prom day. I spent all day getting ready in my house. Makeup and hair, and of course, the dress. I was feeling amazing. My big night was finally here. I walked down the stairs and there was George waiting for me. He looked amazing. We walked outside and he gave me a rose. Oh, this is so sweet. We arrived at the dance and the place was packed full. Everyone was dancing and having an amazing time. Then, my worst source of anxiety lately. They're announcing the prom king and queen.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, let me say a huge congratulations for you all for making it this far. Now, the prom king and queen. And your prom king is George.
Oh my gosh, no way! My date is the prom king. Amazing.
And now for the most prestigious award of the year, your prom queen, none other than Little Kelly.
Oh my gosh, I'd only gone and won it. Myself and George, prom king and queen. We danced the night away. Man, I'll never forget my senior prom. The next 2 weeks we had our final exams, and boy did I ace them all. I handed in all my final assignments and extra credits. There was only one thing left, my rocket. I brought it into school and set it up, but my final reveal wasn't until day 98. I spent the next few days in the school library applying for so many different colleges. Yale, Columbia, and even Harvard, because they all have an amazing science program. There was nothing more I could do on night 97 but go to bed early, and that's what I did. Day 98, it's 6 a.m. I had a shower, ate a huge breakfast, and got the bus. When I arrived at school, today was the day. I walked to the main hall and there was Amy to wish me luck. She gave me all of the cookies. I went upstairs and there it was, my finished rocket with my teacher standing beside it. He gave it a good inspection and then he finally handed me my grade. I didn't want to look at first, but eventually I did. It's an A+! Oh my gosh, I did it! And this means I'm going to the Harvard space program. I thanked my teacher and ran straight down to Amy. We're both going to Harvard together! My final 2 days, I packed my stuff into my car. I said goodbye to my dad. Man, I'm gonna miss that idiot. And then I hit the road to Harvard.